Hey everyone. Please close your eyes and take a moment to imagine yourself in a doctor's office. Your doctor walks in, closes the door behind him, and says 3 words that will change your life forever. You have cancer. You're not alone though. Today, 4,000 of your fellow Americans have also been diagnosed with cancer. 1.48 million people in the United States each year. The problem here is that the effects of cancer do not limit themselves to just the physical. It also goes to the mental. According to the U.S. Cancer Center, 48% of Americans diagnosed with cancer have said that they experienced extreme psychological trauma after being diagnosed. And how could they not experience such psychological trauma, considering they only meet once a month with the person responsible for saving their lives? Throughout this time that they're not meeting with their clinicians, they have thousands of questions running through their head, and at the same time, their clinicians are wondering how they can help and how they can understand what the patient is going through. Until now, there's no way for this to be done, but now we have OncAI, your personalized cancer care companion. So take Bob Jones here, Grandpa Bob. For the purposes of this presentation, he's been diagnosed with cancer. He takes several medications daily, and he only has 1 visit per month with his clinician. Let's take a look at what OncAI does for him in between these trials. So here, OncAI has told Bob that it's time to take his medicine, and Akshay is going to walk us through what this bot does for us, and he's going to interact as if he's Bob. So here, OncAI has asked him, has he taken his medicine? Bob responds yes, and asks how he's feeling, and OncAI asks how he's feeling today, what symptoms he's experiencing. Bob answers, I have darkened stool. And OncAI answers, well, based on his profile, he notices that he's been taking an iron supplement, which could explain the problem, and offers more information for Bob if he wants to learn more about it. So, what's really important here is that OncAI is an intelligent interface that takes a database of patient information that's updated constantly as Bob or anyone else would make inferences and converse with OncAI, and do this in a way that is conversational and allows for the patient to have this conversation comfortably. So that's not even the half of it though, and that's why it's so great. Here we also provide a link for the clinician to understand what's happening with the patient. He can click on Bob Jones, and up comes a comprehensive profile of Bob Jones, based on a monthly profile where he can click on today's date, October 15th. Where Bob Jones just had a conversation with OncAI where he mentioned that he had blackened stool, and then OncAI provided information about the iron supplements. Also, it can allow for patient-reported outcomes and give those results to the clinician for when the appointment happens. So OncAI, have I taken my medicine today? And then OncAI would answer, yes, Bob, you told me you took your medicine 5 slides ago. Thank you.
How would you prevent errors in treatment and medication due to misinterpretation of what OncAI is saying?
Right. So the important thing here is that OncAI would never tell you to do or not to do something, right? It's an information knowledge-based thing where it is your supplement, but not necessarily replacing your doctor. So, for instance, Bob could have asked him about his darkened stool. He gets information about that, but OncAI would never say, take X medication to fix this, because we don't have that authority. Only the doctor can do that. We're just simply bridging the knowledge gap and allowing for the time in between these appointments for there to be monitoring, to build a patient database, to make life a lot easier at appointments for the doctors.
And it gets all the necessary data from the doctor himself, so it is not doing any guesswork or it is not using its own intelligence. Additionally, it is just being a supplement. It's just relying the information between the doctor and the patient.
So what's your revenue model, and how are you going to actually get all of the initial information?
Right. Okay. So as we all know, the doctors have certain information about patients, such as past symptoms, past information, past even doctor visits, stuff like that. But also, as for revenue, what we're talking about is a subscription-based thing, because it's intended to be prescribed to you by your doctor. The intention is that it could even be paid for by insurance. But the other thing about it is that the revenue really comes in where the doctors themselves and the healthcare providers themselves have a great advantage when they're able to use OncAI. Because as I showed you on their side, they have all this information which is easily accessible and can fill them in on certain things that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to understand, and therefore make appointments more efficient and make treatment more efficient.
It also reduces the readmission rates, and it will increase the medical adherence better, which is one of the major issue in today's healthcare. And so, thank you.
Thank you.